feel like for male models, it's like you would get hit on, but like for girls, it was kind of more hidden. Like it wasn't cool to hit on the child, but like it would still happen, obviously.
Can I ask a question? Well, did they ever offer you money to go and like hang out at like nightclubs when you were younger? Like, did they?
Now I'm just going through everything that happened to him. And trying to.
They did this to you too, right? Here with Bridget Malcolm. Okay, so I gave your husband, so how we met, I did a musical called Florida Man the Musical in Key West. Your husband Nathaniel was a cast member in it, and I've met Nathaniel before I met you, and then we got to meet you and we all hung out. And at the end, at the last party on stage, when Nathaniel was like, all right, bye, Krystyna. And I was like, I'm going to give you a compliment. I hope you don't take offense, but it's the highest compliment I can ever give a man. I go, your taste in women is exquisite. And he goes, I know. And I was like, yeah, game recognized game, motherfucker. So I think the best thing about a man is his choice in a partner.
He actually told me
and you're
this.
a G. So, good.
Yeah, he was like, this was, I think, the best thing anyone's ever said to me.
Oh, good. Yeah. And he's the kind of guy that I'm like, I know you will appreciate this.
Yes, definitely. You know, I still have a bruise on my ass from the crocodile.
Oh my God, from the mechanical crocodile.
Yes.
Yeah, I rode, instead of a mechanical bull, we had a mechanical crocodile in the lobby, and I did ride it in a dress, which I think the guy who operated it loved, but I did not. Yeah, it's fun times.
It looks great. But no, I think I rode it 7 times one show.
Whoa.
And then the last time it like smacked me in the butt, and it's been 2.5 weeks, and I still have a bruise.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it's in the shape of a crocodile tail, which is pretty fun.
That is really fun.
Actually.
So you have so much experience that I want to ask about, dive into, but one of them is that you were a model. From ages what to what? How did you get into it? What attracted you to the world of modeling?
Yeah, so I got scouted to model when I was 14 years old, so very young.
So young.
And I'm 34, so this is a while ago.
20 years ago.
And it was in Perth. I had no interest in being a model. I was a pretty keen oboist and really wanted to be a nuclear physicist.
Of course. Knowing you, I'm like, that makes sense. That tracks.
Such a dork. And I just got grabbed in the street, and there was a modeling competition on, and that was that. Kind of changed my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, but I fought to finish high school, and
you fought to finish high school?
Yeah.
They didn't want you to?
Well, no, I got actually Trump's modeling agency first reached out when I was like 15 or something.
Trump had a modeling agency?
Yeah, it's like pretty freaking gross.
I feel like, I didn't know specifically, but I mean, it makes sense with his Miss,
USA.
Yeah.
I know he had Miss Teen USA. Wait, I did not know that.
He had Miss, oh.
Yeah, no. He would go in the locker room. It was,
oh, God.
Yeah.
So no, initially they reached out to my agent, and they were like, and then IMG reached out, and they were like, okay, cool.
That one's good. That one's better.
So they came over to meet me when I was like in my high school uniform, like at 15 years old, and I had no concept of anything that was happening at that time. And then, they had a visa for me and wanted me to move to New York like immediately, but I waited until I graduated high school at 16 and then moved to New York.
Wow. At 16, you moved here. Did you know anybody?
I had an aunt and uncle who had lived here, but they'd moved to London. So no, but at that age, like I was so fearless. I didn't really care. I was like, this is great. This is lots of fun. Like,
and your parents just let you?
My mum came over with me.
Oh, okay.
She came over for a few months, and then she moved back to Australia. Like once I kind of signed my first lease, I think I was so young that I had to like bring my like deposit and in like cash. Like I couldn't actually like specifically be on, I don't know. Thinking back, there was a lot of stuff where I'm like, I don't know if that was legal, but that's okay. We're here now.
Right.
Yeah. It worked out. It figured itself out.
Yeah. And that was like the career just kind of took off from there. It was, I still do the odd modeling job, but my career kind of hit its peak in about 2013 through to 2016. That was kind of my like era.
So what were you doing in your peak era of modeling?
I had a pretty raging eating disorder. I think that was like the number one thing I was doing. But other than that, I was doing like...
the number one thing doing, not eating.
Yeah. But no, I worked with Ralph Lauren. I did a few of those campaigns. I did a bit of stuff with Maybelline, Victoria's Secret. I was never an angel for Victoria's Secret. I shot their catalog and their online. I think I did one campaign.
Okay.
And then I walked 2 shows. And then obviously editorial stuff. There was a period there where I was just in a plane like 24/7. I think I wasn't home for like more than 2 days in a row. I was also like completely dependent on Xanax to like get through the day. Some pretty severe, like the panic attacks hadn't started then. They started after my second Victoria's Secret show. But that era, I just was like not eating and just kind of
what that does to your mental health. And you can't.
it's great.
I imagine it fucks up your sleep too.
Yes.
And what was being said to you, or like said kind of secondhand, passive aggressively, to kind of fan the flames of this eating disorder?
Yeah. So it's interesting because I am pretty sure I would have had an eating disorder anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, like I grew up quite a sensitive kid, and I think I was around 12 when I first started like binging. And then modeling came along when I was 14, and I was like, perfect, I can just
You guys
starve
do this
myself.
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get paid. Like, this is great. Why not? So I think I had the landscape already set up for it, but
Yeah.
I think going into the modeling world, it extended it, pushed it to a point which I don't think it would have gotten to. I think I would have got the help I needed. My parents were amazing and switched on. I think that modeling kind of provided an excuse for it, basically.
Yeah, because it was glorified.
Yes.
Like the skinnier you were, it was the better you were in everybody's.
Totally.
Did people say like fucked up shit to you as you're going like behind the scenes?
Yes. So I think the first time I got told to lose weight was when I was 14. And I would,
God.
yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
know, which is very young. And it was my first agency. And yeah, I mean, it was very normal. Oh my God, I can't even think of what year that was. Probably 2005-ish.
And did they say, how do they say that to a 14-year-old?
They always say, we need you to tone up. And it's like,
Tone up.
okay, you tone up by losing fat. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and so they would always measure me and, you know, just be like, you need to lose an inch here. Like it was very clinical like that. Like you needed to fit the measurements in order to be what we need from you.
Yeah.
And then
They
as
wouldn't give you like any support. Like you're like a child. They wouldn't say like, you know,
Here's a nutritionist.
here's a nutritionist, or here's a workout plan, or like they were just like, just go and lose it any way you can.
I mean, because it wasn't like I was overweight needing to
Right.
lose weight. You know, I was
Yeah.
already eating well and exercising. I've always been super active. You know, at 14, I was an Australian size 8, which is a US 4. You know, like it wasn't overweight at all. So like in order to get from that size to the size 0 that I needed to be, you needed to starve yourself. Like there's no way around that.
Yeah, I mean, like some people, I could not eat for the rest of my life. I would never be a size 0.
Yeah,
like
some
my body
people's
just
bones.
is not getting there.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I can't have that same conversation, but like, yes, same. You know, I would starve myself and, you know, at a size 4, and obviously like I had a very successful modeling career where I did starve myself down. But even at my smallest, I didn't look like the other girls because
Really?
because I have like hips
Whoa.
and legs. Like that's just the way I'm built.
Oh my God.
So I would be a size 0, but things would fit differently. And it would absolutely fucking eat at me. And it was like my obsession in life was to just like get that little bit thinner. And like I succeeded. It was great.
Yeah. Well, and it's like also the brain, I think it's easy for a human mind to be obsessed with one goal. And then when you're surrounded by examples of comparing yourself to where you are with that goal, it's so easy to be obsessive about it. One of my close friends, Aya, is a makeup artist, and she does runway makeup for like New York Fashion Week all the time. She flies to Paris Fashion Week. The music industry and the fashion industry are two of the most brutal fucking industries to the artists and human beings that express themselves within these industries. The fashion industry is a bunch of, and not everybody's like this, assholes though. Just brutal assholes that are like on this ego trip that of like, I've never heard a person talk like this than the stories I get from the fashion world and the music industry.
Yeah, I mean, my husband's a musician, and I have so many resentments against the music industry. And it's interesting, I guess, because like as an older person, older for a fashion model, at 34, I've had a very different experience post Victoria's Secret. Like since I kind of, you know, spoke out about what I experienced, put on weight, went through the hell. Because people like, you know, you talk about the hell of an eating disorder, but the hell of recovering from an eating disorder.
Interesting.
Oh my God, I never want to go through that again. It was horrendous. It took so long. And you just have to be so fucking patient and just trust that someday you won't want to rip your skin off. And like, you know.
So you're just retraining your brain. You're slowly over time erasing all these bullying thoughts about yourself,
Exactly.
I imagine, right? Okay.
Yeah. So after having gone
Shit.
through all of that, I still model. I still work with clients that I like. And I've had the best experience. Like I've had so
Nice.
much fun the last, I guess, 5-ish years of modeling, 5-6 years. Because like it's just been fun. I've been like, oh, the clothes don't fit. Shit, get someone else. I guess.
Get a bigger size.
Exactly. You know, and it's like, and I work with clients where I've had that sort of energy reflected back. It's like, it's so not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like I see that and I know that that's a possibility, but I also recognize that I'm doing a different type of modeling to what I used to do.
Yeah.
But I just don't really understand why it wouldn't be possible for, you know, a young woman who is a natural size 4 to just stay a natural size 4.
Facts.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that, like it's, you know, much more, you know, normal than when we were teenagers to see, you know, women of like a real life size, like walking around. But did you not notice that change like within the industry a lot?
I feel like it gets talked about, and, you know, and back in my day, like there was always some girl, like she had boobs or something, and everyone's like, wow,
Whoa,
like body positivity. And it's like, great, you know, and
She's so brave. She has tits.
Exactly. And like she'd have a great runway season and then she'd just like fade out. And then there'd be the next token girl. But everybody else was tiny. And the expectation was that you be tiny. So I don't know. I don't really know.
So it was mostly performative, like
Yes,
like
all of
everything
it.
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I you know,
thought so.
researching, and I was texting you last night about your talking points and kind of researching stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, it might not be a conscious thing, but like, okay, so a lot of these modeling industries, Victoria's Secret is run by a man. I found that out way too late in the game. I remember I was really pissed. But encouraging women to be as physically small as possible, I feel like is also another way of controlling. Because when you haven't fucking eaten, that's a form of torture, is like not eating. It fucks up your sleep, which is also a form of torture. But being told, having it held over your head, but now you're beautiful because I could barely see you kind of thing, is just hammering in this way to keep women down in a way. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
No, 100% was my experience. Like, whenever I was starving and not eating, my brain was switched off. Like, I didn't have any feelings at all. Like, no feelings. And sometimes I miss it, but not enough to go back there.
It's like free drugs, kind of.
Totally, because you're like on a high. You don't
Yeah.
need anything.
Wasn't Naomi Campbell the one that says nothing tastes as good as skinny
that
feels?
was Kate Moss.
Kate Moss.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah, what a shit quote, man. What a shit quote.
I know. But no, it is. I've thought about this. Like, it is 100% true, because I was so just like, whatever you need, yeah, I'll do it. Like, I don't feel too much. And it wasn't until I started eating, started actually like take up weight and like take up space in the world, that I suddenly started to have my own opinions about things. And I started to connect the dots about what I'd been through, which was kind of what kind of triggered me to become a bit of a whistleblower, I guess, for VS, like in 2021 was when I kind of spoke up about it. And it wasn't until like afterwards, when I was mentally and physically healthy, that I kind of realized what had happened.
So what had happened?
Well, there was just that relentless pressure to be as thin as possible. And so like my experience with Victoria's Secret, you know, I'm going to cut this little section here. I'm going to use my words very carefully because I don't want to implicate anybody. But, you know, they've mostly just outed themselves from the industry now anyway. So so it was 2014, and I kind of started shooting a bit more regularly with them. And there was, you know, I was working quite consistently with them, and it was cool. It was kind of a dream come true for me. Like, I'd always wanted to do Victoria's Secret. I'd been told that it was something that I could have done, and I was really excited about it. And there are some people within the company that were kind of starting to pay a little bit of attention. You know, I got pulled aside by one of them and was like, you know, someone told me you could be an angel. You need to lose weight. You need to like lose weight.
You were already modeling for them.
Yeah. So I was already like a size 2, maybe. Like
you
0.
fat fuck.
I know. Exactly. And they're like, you know, if you need to, what that actually said was like, you need to work out like Adriana Lima. Like, Adriana Lima is the one that like kind of sets the standards, and you need to look like her. And I was like, oh shit, okay, like that's really hard.
Damn, dude.
I know.
Was Adriana Lima a size 0?
She didn't seem the tiny. Maybe
she seemed more voluptuous.
Yeah,
but
she had tits.
Yeah, she had tits. But like the thing is, you can fake that. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk about her body.
I remember being a young kid and going, that's the prettiest girl I've ever
She's so
seen in my
fucking
No, I
cute.
know. I had a poster of her in my room because I was like, she's
one of the
gorgeous.
hottest bitches.
We were once at a gym together. We used to work out at the same place, and she's like, "Hey, can you like fix my sports bra?" And I was like, "I'm so afraid right now."
honored.
Yes.
Do you date me? Sorry.
No, she's so beautiful, and she's such a sweetheart as
Yeah.
well. But like, she was kind of the standard because she started working out really, really hard. hard. And she had like a specific nutritionist. He was a chiropractor, you know. But, yeah, he was this guy who like all the models that had trouble losing weight.
I wonder why, because it's not natural to be that.
Exactly. They would kind of get sent to him, and he would like, I went there and he completely tanked my digestive system, made me so sick, made me super skinny, like made me small enough to get the show twice. But like, yeah, I just like would drink protein shakes and take supplements, and it was just fucking insane, to be honest. But
did he do any chiropractic work on you?
he actually did.
You did get an adjustment.
Yeah, I did get an adjustment once, but no.
Your left leg is longer than your right. I'm going to fix that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, but yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of pull my train of thought back.
So Adriana Lima.
Yeah, she was like
She was the one working out like a maniac.
Yeah, and I don't think that's on her at all either. Like, I think that she was just held to such a high standard by the brand and the company with good reason.
That face, man.
Oh, right. So it was probably a couple months after that, I was shooting and I got a message from this person, and they were like, hey, like, you need to come to Soho House and meet all of the executives of Victoria's Secret, like all the big names, like come up and meet everybody. And like, one thing that I have never been able to do in my life is like play the game and like, you know.
Yeah, I can't ever picture you doing that. You're very real.
Well, I don't know if it's real as much of just like, I like
You're like
people.
allergic to it.
Well, I'm a little socially like, I don't really want to. You know, I couldn't imagine sitting there being like, and making small talk with these like dudes in suits. Like, it felt really strange. So I kind of was like, oh, I'm shooting. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, I really want you to come. And I was like, I can't, I'm sorry. And I never worked with Victoria's Secret again after that.
Because you didn't agree to meet them at Soho House.
Yeah, because I didn't go to, and whether, you know, I don't know, correlation, causation, all that jazz, but like, yeah, I never shot the catalog again after that. And I was absolutely fucking devastated, like absolutely destroyed.
Right.
Did you reach out to them?
No.
Oh.
No.
Did you have you had an agent, obviously.
Oh, no, sorry. My agent, obviously, like they would put options on and then they would take them off, and they kept that going for a while. So my agents obviously were in contact with them. But no, I didn't reach out to the person who kind of tried to set that up for me, because I was like, fucked it. You know, I completely blame myself for that.
Power trip, though.
Then all that stuff about Les Wexner and Epstein kind of came out a few years later.
Was he what's his Rex? What is his name?
Les Wexner.
Les Wexner. I always get his name mixed up.
Yeah.
Was he at the Soho House? Was he one of those people?
I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. But like, you know, he was a CEO at the time. Like, you know, if
Real
you kind of,
piece of-
if you wanted to get to the next level, you kind of had to like meet people like that and kind of schmooze, which like I just can't do.
Did you ever see Epstein? That's right. He was in a couple documentaries I watched about him.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But hang on, did I just lose myself?
No.
Okay,
we can hear you.
Cool. To be fair, I wasn't noticing a lot of anything around that time. So.
Right. So you went on 60 Minutes, Australia, to call them out for all of the shit. Did you plan on this? Like, did they interview you because you were like, I want to talk about like the things I experienced that were really frustrating in this industry?
No, they reached out to me. I started making TikToks about it. So that was kind of where it began. And it was a way to just kind of, I guess, talk about what I'd done without having to be like, so this happened and then they said this to me. And it was like just to make a bit of light of it. And then I did one TikTok, which like, where I found my bra from the 2016 Victoria's Secret show. So they give all the girls like bras backstage, and you put them on under your little like slip thing, and it's like, you know, bras and
ooh.
I know, exactly. And I found mine, and it was a size 30A, which I don't think Victoria's Secret sells bras that small, first of all. And so I found it, and I was like, fuck. And obviously that nowhere near close to fitting now. And like, it was so horrible to like find this bra and remember where I was at that point. You know, I felt like I was overweight. I felt like I was ugly. I hadn't eaten real food thanks to the chiropractor in like a month. I haven't even had water because I was like cutting water for the show.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And like, I look back at photos and like, I just look so sad and I look so skinny and I just look so lost. But it was such a strange experience to feel this way and to look this way, and to have the attention of the world on me at that point. Like, I was doing so much media and there was so much attention around me, and I was like, why am I being celebrated for being at my absolute sickest? You know, this doesn't feel right at all. So I made the video kind of just talking about that, and it randomly blew up. I think I still get lots of views on it. I think it's at like 7.7 million now.
Yeah.
And like, then I guess I got a lot of media attention around that. And that's how 60 Minutes kind of showed up.
Nice. And what kinds of things did you call them out on? Just like the culture of like thin is, if you're not thin, then you're not here, kind of.
Pretty much, yeah. I kind of, I called them out on a lot of different things. So kind of Victoria's Secret was like the gold standard as a model for somebody who was doing the type of work that I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you have to try and get to that level. And if you can't do that, then maybe you do Sports Illustrated, you know, but like that's like the goal. And I felt as though a brand that had so much power over so many women was had its brand representatives being so unhealthy and such a, not a bad representation, but a very poor representation of what a woman should be. Not that a woman should be anything, but, you know, to your previous point, it felt like to them a woman was somebody who was subjugated, who was quiet, who was small, and who was doing the best that she could to fit the expectations of a man and a male gaze. And that was it, you know. And then it was all about kind of, you know, like they would like tie the bras in a double knot at the back. And
Are
then,
you
like,
serious?
Yeah, and put like 3 chicken cutlets in to make you look like you had boobs, for example. You know, it was like, it was so just not
It was all
okay.
bullshit.
Yeah,
it was
total.
all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, and then like the juxtaposition of how I was at that point, and then even just like, you know, 2021, that was 5 years on. In that time, I'd got my bachelor's degree. I'd done my internship. I was like at the United Nations. I was like, holy shit, like I have this whole life. I have these friends. I have a brain that I didn't realize I could use. And I guess I'd spent so much of my childhood and my like younger years kind of chasing something that didn't belong to me. And quite frankly, I felt shouldn't belong to any woman.
Yeah.
You know, so...
And when I was in high school, Victoria's Secret had a huge influence. Everyone in my high school was wearing Love Spell or the body sprays. Like we were always in Victoria's Secret. All my girlfriends worked in Victoria's Secret. I know you worked in Victoria's Secret.
But in retrospect, isn't that hilarious? Like, why is a lingerie brand most appealing to like teens? Doesn't that tell you that like it's actually not something that any women like? Because it's like, who goes to Victoria's Secret? Like teenage girls
who like want to know what sexy is.
Adult men who are trying to like spice up their relationship. No, I never I don't see a ton of just like regular ladies
Never.
there.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my first, I think I would have been about 18, I think, because you have to be 18 to work for Victoria's Secret. That much they were, you know, doing.
Oh.
So good for them.
Yay, morals.
But they reached out to me and they were like, reached out to my agent and they asked if I could like shoot their, I think it was a body spray or something, one of their like fragrancy type campaigns. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. But I just got my wisdom tooth out. So I couldn't shoot it. Because I was like, again, asking like but they were asking like a child to shoot something to be like selling sex essentially. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's crazy how like the progress that we've made societally with respect to how women are viewed, treated, expected to be, all of that has really since the 90s been like pretty vast. Like we've really made some fucking progress. We have so much more to go. And there's been too long where women are just
going a little backwards now, though.
It does seem like that. So one of the things you were saying, like it does seem like the skinny thing is coming back. But all of the body, like a body trend is weird. To have a certain body and
like
for that to be
haircut
trendy,
or like a makeup style.
Yeah, it's like the body you have is your body. Like some people are like overweight by society's standards, but like they're just naturally thick. And like I feel for teenage girls today. I feel like if you are a 14-year-old girl today, I just want to hug you. I can't imagine the bullying voices that are happening inside of your head from Instagram and TikTok. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, you know that Australia just banned social media for kids under the age of 16. Which is like,
and how do they like?
How do they make sure that happens?
Yeah. So from what I understand, it's on the platforms. Like it's on them to enforce it. So I think like now you have to
Upload ID or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Which is, I think it's great.
Well, on the porn sites, they just ask, "Are you 18?" And you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay, cool, we believe you."
Yeah,
Because I was thinking if it's like something like that, then you have to make sure your parents are basically taking, your phone away when you go to your room alone, because otherwise there's no way to keep yourself off of it.
Yeah, and I also don't think it should be on the parents or on the kids to enforce. You know, like,
Yeah, I'm just like, the kids are just so smart with technology. I'm like, how would you even do it. Because I'm like, it's a great idea. I'm like, I'd like to, can they enforce it up to 40? Because I
That
would
would
like
be
to be
nice.
involved.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just wish like all the internet would go out for just like a month, just forever.
I'm so freaking strict with social media now for me because like I can feel it. Like whenever I've spent too much time
Feels gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much time in the wrong algorithms, I just feel my brain melting.
Yeah.
And I can't think straight and I can't do anything. So like I am so careful. I'm like, okay, not before 9 a.m. because, but like Friday afternoon, I'm like, I'm hard offline. I don't care if like the world stops.
Yeah.
I have to just like not be online. So, and then obviously things happen like Australia the other day.
Oh my
so,
God, yeah, that was fucking terrible. Australia never has mass shootings. Are guns illegal, right?
There was a mass shooting, Port Arthur, I believe.
Is that the one that changed the gun laws?
Yeah.
Because Australia is also often held up as an example of like one case and the government was like, fuck this.
We're done.
But to be fair, I mean, it's been, obviously there was a terrible mass shooting, but you went a lot of years without one compared to us. Going a week without one is pretty
Rare, yeah. No, it was Port Arthur. There was a mass shooting in 1996 and it was a conservative government as well in power and they said, no, enough. So I think there's been a few like murder-suicides because I think people in rural communities can have guns obviously to protect their property from critters, not from people.
Yeah.
But yeah, there hasn't been a mass shooting like this in... Yeah.
It's terrible.
Anyway, sorry. I just fully pivoted everything.
No, it's okay. Well, I did want to ask, I had one other like modeling question.
I also, with VS, I have more to say on actually. Yeah, like so the Adriana Lima point, but then also like I was getting it, I think because of the standards that Victoria's Secret set for the models, like what they needed, I was also copying it from my agents at the time. Like I think I was a teenager maybe, but I had a person who was associated with my agency at the time telling me I should just do lots of drugs and have like lots of sex. You'll be fine. Just lose weight that way. Like
That'll make you lose weight?
Sex make you lose weight?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I
was like, I've never lost any weight having sex.
I don't think I have either. And I have some pretty adventurous sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that didn't work, obviously. It's just good old-fashioned starvation was the only thing that worked for me.
Did you talk about it amongst the models? Like, did you guys talk about it? Like, hey, was there any talk of like, does this feel right to you?
Oh, no, I was like, yeah, we talked about like diets and workouts and like
tips and tricks.
Exactly.
I see, yeah.
No, none of the, well, yes, of course. Like the models that I've known, they've all been so freaking smart and so switched on and so worldly because you have to be. Like you, at least in that era, you were scouted to model at an extremely young age. There was no social media. There was you had to become worldly like beyond your age, like immediately. Otherwise you would get spat out. So yeah, we would have conversations. I would hear about, friends going through horrific things due to them not eating and,
health stuff.
Yeah.
That's
like
terrible.
Really horrible. And so like in 2017, I obviously had starved myself, but like I wasn't as skinny as I was in 2016. I was still very small. I think I'd gained like 5 pounds or something. So I wasn't quite as small as I was, still really fucking underweight. And I got rejected from the show because like I wasn't skinny enough. And it was the strangest, like it was so freeing. I felt like, oh, thank God.
Interesting.
Like if even at this size, I haven't had a period in years. Like,
right.
Yeah.
When you're below a certain weight, you lose your period.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was my life for a long time, which is
No
really great for your
period.
bone density, like really great. So like I've had friends who were having like getting stress fractures from not eating and working out. Like it's like it was at that level of just like this is insanity. Like this is
The
an
ultimate
insane
way to keep a
thing.
woman down is to have her not
Exactly.
eat. And like
Yeah.
to convince herself to not feed herself. Like,
Yes.
because no one is keeping food from you, but the mental toll, their words seep into your mentality, and that is the prison cell that you live in.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, no, it's absolutely fucking insane. And all for what? To like walk down a runway in your underwear and feel kind of awkward about it because it's a weird fucking thing to do in the beginning.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny, like I posted a TikTok a couple weeks ago because I just thought it was funny because I didn't realize the show was on, and I opened Instagram because I don't go on social media on the weekends and try to stay off in the evenings, and I saw that it was on, and there was a dumb trend that I thought was entertaining coming back, so I did it and I posted it, and I got like, I think it was over 2 million impressions, and a lot of people being like, "You're just jealous," and I'm like, I can confirm, I'm really not. I haven't sat here for the last 10 years like waiting desperately for the show to come back so I could troll it. Like I
think a lot of the industry too, especially with Victoria's Secret when it was in its heyday and stuff, we're relying on all the women involved to not ask, what is this for?
Yeah.
Because that is the question that's going to make you pivot and go, wait a second, this is for, no, this is not who I am. This is not my potential.
Totally. Like, yeah.
You just get tricked into thinking like this one goal is worth it. And we never question if it is. I remember when the Kardashians, when Kendall Jenner was a model and she was like starting modeling, and it was that's why I used to watch the show years ago, and she was like, Victoria's Secret fashion show, like I'm gonna make it, like I'm gonna freaking figure it out, and she eventually did, and I was like, I'm so excited for you, Kendall, but because that was they hold it to such a high standard, but why?
Yes, why?
So men can go jack off to it? Is that it?
Yeah, and it's also I feel like there was an element of like, you know, I can work the hardest, I can get super skinny, and like I can be held as this like ideal woman, and like so there, like it's possible or something. Like it felt very, I don't know.
Because then when you get to the goal, it's like when people like find fame and success, but they're still not happy because that's not what's going to make them happy. Yes. So they get the famous success and they're like, oh, fuck this. Like you got something that every woman or society's convinced every woman they should want. But then when you're there, you're like, wait, this doesn't feel how it's supposed to feel.
I literally sent a message to Nathaniel from the runway, and he's seen me through like every phase of life. Like we've been together for so long. He's just
and that's
incredible.
her husband. I don't know if we talked about it on air earlier, but that's your husband's name.
Yes. I literally sent a message where I just got off the runway and I was like, cool. Like what the fuck was the point of all of that? And he was like, you could try and enjoy it. Like it's a cool thing you just did. And I'm like, no, it's No, it's fucking not. Like what the fuck have I just done? Wait, there was something I wanted to. Oh yeah. And it was like, so yeah, I kind of stepped off the runway and kind of had this realization moment. And that was when I started blogging about it, because I had this sense of overwhelming guilt. When I started to get better and I started to get healthy from the eating disorder, I realized like just how much media I'd done, where I'd kind of been like, yeah, today I had pizza and then I had a burger. And it's like, I mean, I didn't. I was obviously still very focused on being like, I had a salad, but it's like reality, no, I'd had a couple powders, like, you know, a protein shake and, you know, so like, and I felt a huge sense of responsibility to, you know, I'm lucky I have a platform on social media, as a platform that Victoria's Secret has given me, you know, like it's a very strange dynamic.
Karma, baby.
Yeah, I guess. But I was like, fuck, like I need to go and like tell these people like that version of me that you started following was really sick. I was lying to you, like actively lying to you.
Yeah.
And I issued an apology, and then I started writing about it, and yeah, that was kind of, then the TikToks followed, and then 60 Minutes came out. It's funny, I didn't watch it until I think like 3 weeks ago was the first time I watched it.
Oh, really? How'd it feel?
Oh, God, I hate watching myself in like anything in TV or any interviews I've done. I'm like, oh, shut up. But like watching it, I'm like, oh God, like I'm so proud of myself for what I did, but I still feel like I was very unsteady. Like I wasn't quite there yet. I was nearly there, but I wasn't quite there.
It's gotta be scary too to like speak against an industry that has so much power over people's minds.
Yeah.
That's like the real scary shit.
Yeah, and it was before like Ed got fired. It was before, or he quit. I forget which one. I'm not sure.
Was there a reason for that?
I mean, he was a pretty problematic dude.
Okay.
I don't know much about the perv. That never came out, and I never heard anything along those lines. But you know, he said, he was like, oh, somebody asked him, an interviewer asked him if he would ever have a plus size model on there, and he was like, nobody wants to see that, and I would never have I think he used the wrong term to refer to a transgender person. And,
Yeah, because I remember that was a big kind of Victoria's Secret topic.
Victoria's Secret, we are
couple years.
not inclusive.
Yeah, pretty much. So it was time for him to go, because obviously that wasn't working with like the audience anymore. It's funny, whenever I didn't get the show, I actually reached out to Ed and was like, hey, like totally cool. Like, I've had my time. That's great. Kind of insane that I'm too fat at, the size that I am. And, maybe if you didn't put such insane body standards on the models, like maybe it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And he responded basically with like, you're wrong. Your experience is wrong.
He said, shut up, fatty.
Yeah.
Basically, he's like, we've even had pregnant models walk, so we include all women. And I'm like, cool. So a woman to you is someone who is like anorexic and like not thinking and switched off, or pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's not to discredit like the models out there who like genuinely are just freaks of nature.
Yeah, and I've met people that aren't models that are just like thin.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
just
for
thin
sure.
naturally. And
Absolutely.
And it's like, yeah, that is a body type for sure. It's one of the body types. But like, yeah, we don't. It is nice to see. It is a mind fuck that you. Like I want like models, like I like that models are hotter than everybody else. I like that. I don't know, as a consumer.
No, I like that too. I actually get mad. Like we don't want to be. My thought is that I don't want to be too inclusive with models. I gotta be honest.
We saw Ashley Graham on the subway once. She's one of the hottest people.
Insane.
She is so hot. And I remember I asked her, I'm like, I have a podcast called Guys Who Fuck. Do you want to do it? Like, she was like, oh yeah, like here's my, and she gave us her email, I think. But she was so hot. And then, like, that's the point of modeling, yes. But there is also something of like representation and seeing yourself represented. Most people aren't hot. And so there is this like modeling, I don't know that it belongs there, but like movies and TV and stuff, like I think you're just seeing more diverse faces and like.
Well, uglies have always been in TV and movies. But yeah, because I mean, it's like, okay, yes, we want to be inclusive, but then when you think about it, it's like, okay, well, so should not funny people be able to do stand-up? I mean, they are, but we were trying to kick them out.
Yeah.
I think like to this point, like there are so many incredibly beautiful, attractive like models who are a natural size 4. Like why can't they just stay a size 4 instead of being pushed to be a size 0 or like told to gain a bunch of weight and become something that's also unattainable to them?
Right.
You know, and the reality is like most women on the planet are not naturally a size 0 and 6 foot. Some are, and like good for them.
Yeah.
But like the reality is most people kind of fit into the middle. And like I guess like you look at models when they first started and compared them to a few years into the industry. Have they lost weight? It's like, why couldn't they just stay at that initial size and be, you know, and be really fucking hot?
Yeah.
Like have that otherworldly thing. And I still get it. I used to get it all the time when I was modeling. I'm like, how the fuck am I in a room full of all these people? Like, what the hell? You guys are all so insane looking. Like, I'm just like a fucking loser from Perth. Like, okay. G'day, mate. I'm
You're very
Bridget.
hot, Bridget. You have a great face.
Thank you.
But you also have like this inner beauty that radiates from you that contributes to like your overall hotness. And like one of my best friends, Jordan, I don't know if you met her. She was in Key West. You weren't there for Thanksgiving. So her mom, we're going to interview her mom.
No, I met Jordan.
Did you meet Jordan?
Jordan's a fucking legend.
She's one of my favorite humans on the planet.
She's so good.
Her mom started this huge modeling agency. And like Tyra Banks used to be her babysitter. Jordan told me, she's like, oh yeah, I never thought that was weird. And like, so we had a conversation about models, like the 90s models were so, but they had it was their energy too. Obviously they were super fucking hot. But like Cindy Crawford had this like, just this energy where you could command me by just looking at me. Like I'll do whatever you tell me to do. But they had this like je ne sais quoi, and I feel like then there was this period where it was just thin.
The heroin chic era, the 90s.
Yeah, the heroin chic, the Kate Moss, like Kate. Yeah, it's wild.
And we're like back there now. Everyone's got long hair.
It does seem like
and
that.
is,
Yeah,
like skinny again. It's like, is it Ozempic? Is it the recession?
Oh, maybe it is Ozempic.
Like, you know, is it a global recession?
But I'm confused. So like, what? So like, if like when from being on the inside, like, what is it that they're trying to sell us? Are they trying to actually sell us clothes? Are they trying to sell us a concept or a lifestyle or sexuality? Because like, if you think about it from the framework of like, we're doing this because we want to sell you clothes, capitalism, consumerism. It's very hard for me to look at someone who's a size 0 and know what clothes are going to look like on me because, like, they're going to look better on you.
Yeah,
yeah. Because, you know, it's like, you know, the thinner the body, the more like a hanger it is. Like, and that's going to look better. So it's actually just hard as a consumer to even know sometimes. And now I feel like you get a size 0 on the website and then like a size 16 and you go, neither of these are helpful for me.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. I think both of those things are true. Like, I think that you see brands like the Victoria's Secret show as an example. You see like a Chanel show. The runway shows, like they're selling a brand and an identity and a lifestyle.
Right.
You know, and those are the girls that are very, very, very thin. And they're just meant to kind of they're beautiful, but they're not meant to kind of take away from the beauty of the clothes. I mean, the girls who do the runway are so fucking beautiful. It's like insane. And I was never really that girl because I couldn't get thin enough and I had a butt and legs. Yeah. And so then you have like other brands where they are more inclined to have, and the brands I model for now, like they are more inclined to have like a variety of body shapes.
Right.
Because they are selling to the consumer.
Right.
So it's kind of a mix of all of it. But, models exist to sell things to people. Like that is that. But whether it's like used to create an aura or of like a vibe.
Like you'll be hotter and men will like you more if you get this.
Well, I think part of it is like,
Yeah.
I wonder, this is me completely speculating with the
want-
Victoria's Secret thing.
something for men to like me less. I was just thinking, I was like, what's the purse where men won't like you? Like the weird, you know what? It's like the really weird stuff. when
biggest
it's just
tote bag
It's like
ever.
a big hand with a mustache,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of quirky shit. I'm like, that's men, that'll make men so mad.
There was like a brief year where women were dressing like to detract men, like to make men kind of go to
because
repel them.
At a
little.
certain point, I'm just like, well, I don't want it to look like there was a fire in your home.
Yeah.
Because like that,
Right, and I'm wearing all the clothes on my back.
I just like.
But also, too, when you zoom back, I don't want to consider anybody except myself when I decide what I want to wear that day.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I dress first, and then sometimes I dress because, like, I'm cold.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, sometimes it feels good to wear like big clothes and kind of be like a little like not invisible, but I love the baggy clothes look. And then other times you're like, I want you to see my ass crack, and there you go. Like,
It's funny, like doing like modeling and doing like the sexy stuff from such a young age. I mean, I think my first shoot was a Harper's Bazaar editorial, but my second shoot was a swimwear campaign, and I was 15.
and that's like ew, kind of.
And so like it took me so long, and I still struggle with like wearing things that are revealing or like sexy or like even like something that shows. I think I was when I was in Florida, I was like, I'm going to show my midriff today. And it was like a whole thing that I was like all day, I was like, I'm going to fucking do it. Yeah. Like, I can do this. And I'm like, I'm 34, wear the fucking shirt. Like, it's not that deep, Like, it's.
But you were trained.
Yeah.
Not every girl is trained, but you were extra trained because you were in the industry that gets everybody else to train their brain.
Right.
Of like,
and I felt,
we're looking at you.
Yeah, I felt so much guilt and like cognitive dissonance around that as well. I was like, I am so much part of the problem. And the fact that I was the biggest part of the problem when like I was sick. And so like I was selling people, this young women and girls, this like idea of how to be as a woman when I couldn't count myself really as a woman. Wasn't even a fucking period. Like I was.
Well, it takes a while, I imagine, especially when you enter modeling at 14, to realize you're a chess piece in this shit game. You don't know that you're a chess piece because you just want to like, especially any young person, they're like, oh, adults, a big industry, a big city. I just want to appease and be good and be easy to work with.
It's like the age when most women are typically figuring out like what they want to do, what they want to stand for, who they are. Like that's, end of high school, college years, you're kind of finding yourself. I was being told to just like be quiet, make the room happy, do what you need to do to make things okay. And like I did a great job at that because I'm good at that. So it's taken a while to like be cool with like just
peeling back the layers of yourself, right? And like
showing my fucking midriff as I ride a crocodile.
Yeah, or the waterboard or the fucking kayak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Modeling, man, it's such an interesting thing, and it does feel like all the puppet masters are men, even though, like I said, my friend Jordan's mom, who we'll have on the show soon, is a woman.
Oh, cool.
One of the things she was telling me is she would go up to women in the street and stuff, but she wasn't looking at their size. They all also happen to be a certain body size, but like she's like, I look at a woman and I look at what's behind her eyes, what's her spark, like what is her? Can she light up a room? And I'm like, that I fucks with that.
I need to show you a photo of the day that I got scouted to model because it is so fucking funny. Like it is me walking down the runway at 14, literally like my neck for some reason is wider than my head. It might have just been the angle the photo was taken, but it's insane. And I have this like bright red mullet that I'd cut myself.
Hell yeah.
What? That's kind of cool. It's kind of punk.
I wasn't trying to cut a mullet. And I'd have like braces and I'm like, I just look so out of place. And like the woman who was one of the judges, she's an amazing photographer and I've worked with her a lot since. But
so it was like you entered something. I thought you were just like on the street and they were like, you're
mullet girl.
They were. So I was walking down the street and they were like, you enter this competition. And I was like,
oh, got it.
Lol, okay.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah. And so I walked down the runway and the photographer who was judging it, she's like, afterwards, she was like, look, like you obviously like had a really long career. Like we could just see. She's like, but you were so fucking weird looking. We had to put two like beautiful blondes ahead of you first just to make it make sense. But I got signed, and
You know, that's actually a compliment.
I was like, I'll take that.
They didn't know it at the time.
Playing the long game with me, like the really long game.
Did you know male models? A lot of male models?
I did not. I mean, I do.
Obviously not Victoria's Secret, but like, did they go through the same? Like, I've met a couple male models.
Oh,
I know
mean,
Eric's done models.
my best friend, it was a model for many years.
Oh, right.
And he has some crazy stories. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want
really?
to share them without.
Sure,
I don't
sure.
know what because I was like, that's not. He's like a therapist now, so he may not want all this. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I feel
what he
like
was dragged into.
I feel like men had it both like worse and.
I mean, I can tell you what I.
Yeah.
have.
Were you didn't you do runway, Eric?
I did runway. I did a lot of editorials. I did a lot of commercial shoots.
Got
I
a
did.
good face. Got a good face.
I've had. It was never that extreme with the measurement stuff, but like I've had agents like pinch my belly fat and be like, "You need to lose this." I mean, my first time I was shooting, I was 16, I think, and then as soon as I got there, they're like, "All right, go put on these underwear and cover yourself in coconut oil." It was like
that
literally
feels like a trap.
That was the first thing. That's for
Wow,
digitals.
men get preyed on too.
Yeah,
What was that for?
that was for digitals.
For digitals?
Yeah, for
Are
digitals.
you fucking serious?
Was
That's
this a real
hectic.
thing?
Yes, that was true. I mean, I never took digitals like that again after that.
I think that was for one man's
P.
private
Diddy?
collection.
I mean, like, what are
I
we
think
talking
that was for the American or the Abercrombie and Fitch guy's private collection.
Yeah.
I'd have to go look at what the photographer's name was, but there was a bunch of like models who were all minors who were there and doing the same thing.
Oh, that's horrible.
That feels wrong, man.
The photographer's name was Jack Off. I don't know what's happening here, Eric. I hope you're okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's a long gap between
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Fine.
Oh man.
Trauma lives in the knees, baby.
Oh my god.
I feel like for male models, it's like you would get hit on, like at least, but like for girls, it was kind of more hidden. Like it wasn't cool to hit on the child, but like
That's good.
it would still happen, obviously. But
nice
it
Did you
was-
get hit on
frowned
when you were 15?
Yes.
Because there's also
Well,
like a
sorry.
lot of, there's been abhorrent stories of many men in the comedy world, in the world, in their 30s and 40s trying to fuck 15-year-olds.
well, non-model 15-year-olds we get hit
Just
on.
15-year-olds in general.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Well, did they ever offer you money to go and like hang out at like nightclubs when you were younger? Like, did they?
now
would you
Eric's
get
going
paid?
through everything that happened to him.
They did this to you too, right?
I'd like get offered like I was like 18 and they'd be like, go hang out in this club at the.
I got offered that. I got offered that.
That's like almost like promo model-y like
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, there were promoters, but this is speaking to my previous point. I'm not capable of playing the game. It's like my brain is smooth in that area. I'd be like, oh, sweet, free dinner. And like go to like, great. And I'd go, I'd eat the food. I'd go to the club, have a couple of drinks, be like, all right, I'm off to see my friends. See ya.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, you're supposed to stay all night. And I'm like, I don't want to.
right.
I should add, like, I didn't really like. I count myself really lucky that I started modeling in Australia because the Australian industry is beautiful. The people are incredible. It's like the people there, I still work with the same people from when I was like 14.
Oh,
So
that's
it's-
nice.
Yeah, and they're
I
like
will say
family.
Australians as a people, I know it's not cool to generalize anybody, good or bad, but like y'all seem pretty chill.
I do like Australians.
You seem like down and fun and lovely.
Yeah. So like the years where I was particularly vulnerable because I was literally in high school, like people, like the photographer, like she was an incredible mentor. Everyone
was a
was
woman,
just
that's
yeah,
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone was just amazing. It wasn't until I got to New York where I was like, okay, fuck.
Yeah. There's some dark.
Well, everything is cutthroat here because, like, that's like the kind of the thing, the whole energy of the city that we're selling. Like, so anything you're doing here is going to be the most difficult. We're going to make it the most difficult. It's going to be comedy is the hardest here, modeling is the hardest here, finance is the hardest here, politics is the hardest here. Even though you think it
Enough
should
money
be in
to live is the
DC,
hardest. Yeah.
like it's here.
Right.
It's just like that's
Brutal.
like kind of like what we're selling. Like we're the best of the best, and everyone else suck it. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, and I guess thinking about that, like all of my agents, I've been really lucky with my agents as well. Like everybody has been really professional. I mean, in the earlier days, it was usually people who were like kind of attached to the agency, but not like actually of the agency that were the problem.
creeps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they were
yeah.
just like trying to stay relevant. And I again was just like, oh, you want to be my friend? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I've always been pretty fortunate with my agents and my agencies.
That's good.
Yeah. It's just a shame. Like the ones that really sucked, like they really ruin it for you. You know?
Yeah.
You just need one bad experience to be like, well, shit, that's like 10 years of therapy now. Like, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's tough. But also being like, I moved to New York when I was 19, and I was just like, ugh, This is the coolest thing I've ever heard. I've ever seen a club, like to step foot in a club. I was like, what? Oh my God. I was trying to like hit on 40-year-olds. But yeah. Also you told us about an incident that happened. This was before modeling where you had with a teacher. So that you were not a whistleblower. Something shitty happened at the hands of an adult that you should have been able to trust because the school system should have fucking been able to trust him. Obviously, people slip through the cracks. What happened there? He was a teacher of yours?
Yeah, so it was grooming like behavior. So basically, like through high school, there was a lot of extra attention put on me, and it was it was a pretty horrendous dynamic. I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Like in front of the class, like this person would single you out?
In front of the class, there was a lot of like, I have to be really careful here.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this person, I think you could speak to anybody in high school from my high school, you know, he had a bit of a reputation for being...
Every high school has one.
Yeah, quite...
At least one.
quite extremes of like emotional... displays, shall we say. Not a lot of emotional regulation there, you know. So you're always kind of walking
off
on
the
eggshells.
handles, can go off the handles.
Yeah. So
a lot of them use that as power, but you don't know that until you're older.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So there was a lot of that going on, and there was a lot of inappropriate things that happened. And it wasn't until, you know, so I guess I kind of entered into modeling with that as my backdrop as well, where I was kind of like, oh gosh, I don't want to do anything to make anybody unhappy or angry at me. I don't want anybody to blow up at me. So I'm just going to try and like just handle everything and make everything okay. And like he was somebody that I looked to as a mentor, and I thought I had a mentor. So whenever things started to take a different course and things, you know, he started to adjust his behavior and cross boundaries, it was like the most confusing and like devastating thing. Because I was like, oh, I thought you were like a father figure to me, which you shouldn't have with a teacher anyway.
Right, and that's also something you don't know until you're older.
No.
You're like, oh yeah, that's also fucked up.
Yeah.
Obviously, I get like, you know, when you're a teacher, you don't know which of your students have like fucked up families, abusive families, like, you know, so I'm sure that's going through a teacher's mind. But
well, the right sort of teachers. I think I think teachers like that are able to kind of sense that in students, like sense who may need a little bit of extra. And look, my parents are brilliant, like had really great upbringing. Like everything, I had a very happy childhood, all of that. I think though, like I was just born the way that I was born.
Yeah.
You know, I think I was born propensity to getting depressed and not particularly anxious, like don't really get anxious, but you know, just slightly different chemistry. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that people can kind of the wrong sorts of people can sniff that out in young people when the young people don't have the ability to kind of make sense of it, which I didn't.
It's one of the hallmarks of an abuser.
Yeah.
When I was reading Virginia Giuffre's book, it's like Ghislaine made the limo driver pull over because she saw her waiting at a podium reading a book, and she could tell that girl had years of abuse under her when she was right. But it's a keen eye. It's weird.
It's horrible.
Like I can't tell who was abused when I go out in my day. Like I don't understand that sixth sense.
I can.
I can tell when people have been through shit, but I could oh, they're vulnerable.
Maybe
and I
not
could
from like a bus
them.
stop. Like I don't think I could do it from a bus stop. But like, you know, when you're in a social setting, 3 words in.
Yeah.
I haven't, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can sense it. I think it's like the response.
I guess I don't pick it up. It doesn't ring in my head. It's like, ooh, there's one.
Well,
it's like, oh, are you okay?
Exactly. It's like the response it elicits in you, I think, says more than, you know, whether or not you can pick it up. Because it's like, yeah, I can tell if somebody's been through something. And the reaction in me is usually like, what can I do? Like, I'm here for you. You know, especially as an adult, you know, I ride horses. I don't know if I've mentioned that, probably haven't yet, but I ride horses. I love horses. And I, you know, at the barn, there's a lot of really young women there. And like, just being around them and like getting to know them, I'm like, I feel so fucking protective of you. Like I really, you know, and I think like if you're an adult and you see that in a child and you're like, ooh, perfect, I can take advantage of this. Like you deserve the worst.
So this person saw that in you. Yeah.
Yes. And I honestly, like I left high school and I didn't have any contact after I believe I was 18 or 19. And I forgot everything. Like, and this is the wildest thing. Like I completely pushed it down, forgot everything. And it wasn't until I was working at the UN, I was interning there, and it was International Women's Day, I think. And I was like preparing, and it was around the time that there was a bunch of cases about sexual assault in the Australian embassy, or not the embassy, in Parliament, I believe. There was a woman who brought a case forward against somebody there. That's as much context as I can give you on that.
Sure.
And it suddenly all just came like flooding back. And it was around the time of the Me Too movement. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, yeah, this happened and this wasn't okay. I have a fully cooked brain now. Like, this isn't okay. So yeah, I brought a case against him to have his teacher's license revoked. Won it, which was
Amazing.
insane. Never thought that would happen.
How did it feel to take action against him? Did it because a lot of people that were victims of abuse of various kinds, there's power dynamics and sexual, abuse there. Did it feel scary?
Yeah, it was. Although I remember, I had to do all these really horrible like depositions where I had to kind of like go through. Maybe deposition is the wrong word, where I had to just go through like everything that happened basically. Yeah. And I remember one of them. I was like, I'm going to curl my hair, but I didn't have a curler, and I had really short hair at the time. And I was like, oh, I'll just braid it and then like sleep in it and then take it out. And it looked like fucking Sideshow Bob the next day. But like I was like, I'll just braid it and then sleep in it. And then I had to give this like horrible interview for like 2 hours with like my hair and all these like
crinkly.
braids,
Yeah.
just out. And I was like, this is weird. Yeah, so it felt like a relief. And one thing I will say, what really triggered it was like the idea that he was able to do this to another student, because it's rare that there is one person that is the victim.
Yeah.
And the idea of like, because I didn't speak up or say something and he was, still teaching at a school at that point in time, he's not anymore.
Yay.
But yay, it's the little things. That was what kind of was driving me to do it. So I was kind of like, well, even if I don't win, at least I fucking tried,
Yeah.
And yeah, whenever I found out that it had actually like happened, I was kind of in disbelief. I was shocked. And the best part was like I used to have nightmares all the fucking time, like all the time.
Really?
Yeah, and like flashbacks and all kinds of stuff. And
With regards to this person?
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm wondering if they'll stop. And it's funny, like they didn't stop, but they changed. Like I stopped having getting awoke, like waking up, panicking in the middle of the night, and they stopped being nightmares, and they started being situations where like I was an adult and I was in control, and like
Nice.
That win is a win. I'll take that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty full on time. I recorded a couple TikToks about it just because I wanted to. I had the right to anonymity because I was a minor at the time, but I waived my right to that because I was like, I want to be able to like, however little that I can, I want to be able to tell my story. So
this happens a lot.
yes. So for him, it was serious misconduct, inappropriate behavior, and grooming-like behavior against me. And yeah, part of me was like, oh, I wish I could like talk freely about it, but like I can't, and that's just the law.
You still can't, right? Is that and why is that?
Australia is pretty gnarly about libel. Like you can't
okay.
really say much.
Even if you won the case?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's whatever's contained in the publicly available documents is what you can talk about.
I see.
And so his name publicly available in Australia? Okay.
Yeah, and after I did my TikToks, it's like, yeah, it's
Very publicly available.
yeah.
Bridget, this has been an amazing conversation. We've gone an hour. Is there anything else you want to say, talk about, touch on that we haven't touched on?
No, this is
Talking for 8
Thank
more
you.
hours. So good to see you.
Yeah.
Anything you want to promote? And we ask that to all of our guests. I know you're not really
Your TikTok or where people can find you.
Yeah. If you want to promote your social media handle, you don't have to. You definitely don't have to.
You can follow me on social media. I will be real though. It's mostly just horses, and like every time
Which
I
I love.
That sounds better than anything else.
Yeah.
it's not like, and then the odd like meme or something. So,
Yeah.
at Bridget Malcolm, go off.
Yeah. Go off, Queens.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so
Of course.
much.
Thanks so much for having me.
This has been Guys Week, the anti-slut shaming podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.